Hello everyone, I'm Ankur, Shiv, Bhandari and welcome to this episode of Intentonomics. The topic for today is based on a quote by Helen Keller. A bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you fail to make the turn. This post is dedicated to all who might be looking at new options, either because of recent job cuts or otherwise. There might be a few doubts creeping in, or you might be receiving undesired statements from the world. Remember, nothing and no one can decide what your future looks like except you. I came across a LinkedIn post from an individual some time ago, where he listed down an array of demotivators thrown at him when he was trying to start a new life in a new country, such as, you will not find a job in your field. You will not be able to have a senior position if you want to settle here. You will need to adjust your expectations downwards, etc., etc. He then proceeded to proudly share that he was glad he only listened to himself, as he was now on the board of directors of a reputable organization within that year. I assume most of us have encountered such situations in our personal and professional lives where we are faced with similar statements, doubts expressed on our capabilities. There can be one of three outcomes in such a situation. 1. Get demotivated. Stop attempting. 2. Don't get affected. Carry on as planned. Or 3. The challenge becomes a huge motivation and actually multiplies the effort. In my personal experience, these have actually proved to be significant motivators to try to accomplish what has been stated as can't be done. Granted that subject to the limits of science and the supernatural, not everything will be possible, but I hope you get my gist. It was the year 1993. I had just given my year 10 exams, sort of equivalent to GCSEs, and had about 4 months of holidays coming up. Although it has been quite common for 14-plus-year-olds to take up jobs in Europe, the Americas, etc., in the northern Indian town of Faridabad, where I grew up, it was almost unheard of. The landscape has changed a bit over the last decade or so, but still not very common at that age. Now that is due to multiple factors and historically, such as, thoughts about being too young, family reputation, limited belief in capability, etc., etc. So there could be multiple reasons why that has been the case historically. However, in very simple terms, in my heart, I wanted to learn the value of money and expressed a desire to my family that I wanted to work. Well, you guessed the response right. You can't do it. So the third outcome as above, where challenge becomes a huge motivator, multiplies the effort, kicked in, and I tried to find a way. As luck would have it, I learned about a boy known to my family who had started going out to Delhi as he had taken up a job there. I spoke to him and was told that he works for a toy company. Somehow, I convinced my father to accompany this boy called Happy for one day and see if it was something that was decent to be involved in. Well, as agreed with Happy, I reached his home the next day at 7:30 a.m. to go to Delhi with him. Not sure why, but surprise, surprise, he had left without me. Now, definitely couldn't just go back home and miss this golden chance. And in those days, there were no cell phones, so I couldn't contact Happy either. I remembered he had told me that the company he works for is based in Delhi's east of Kailash area in South Delhi and had shared the company name. Armed with these two pieces of information, without ever having travelled alone to Delhi and that too on public transport, I headed for the old Faridabad train station. Google hadn't grazed our lives yet. At the station, inquired about the train stop I should get off at in Delhi to reach east of Kailash, and learned about Okhla, my destination station for the day. Once I reached east of Kailash, it was not a couple of blocks, it was more like a small town. I started inquiring about this toy company. After about an hour, luck smiled, and a phone shop called STD ISD Booths in India, which this toy company used to route their long distance calls at that time, gave me their address. Late morning that day, I arrived at A3 east of Kailash, which was originally a house but now had offices in the basement and ground floor and someone's residence on the upper floors. The toy company's office was in the basement. When I entered the office, my friend Happy was there and suitably surprised. Anyway, I spoke to the boss and found out that this particular office employed people for door-to-door selling of their soft toys and board games. They said they would give me a trial for a week, and I jumped at the chance. So that day in April 1993, armed with around 20 kgs of toys and games on my shoulder, with a desire to learn and motivation further influenced by "you can't do it," at that grand age of 15, on the streets of South Delhi was my first day at work. The journey of a salesman had begun. That day defined my life. I ended up working there for the remaining 3 months, and that is where my love for sales was born. There are many other memories of knocking on doors, my first sale, etc., which I might share in some other posts. Since then, there had to be a component of work along my studies, and I ended up working part-time all through my graduation in sales roles. Most of the time, "you can't do it" challenge has worked positively for me as a motivator and as a catalyst to help push boundaries, get out of my comfort zone, etc. on multiple occasions. It is not surprising that the same must have played a considerable role in the lives of many people we have come to respect, such as Muhammad Ali, Nelson Mandela, Richard Branson, and must be a key ingredient in their success as well. So next time someone says to you, "you can't do it," just say and feel, "that's wonderful." Enjoy all the hairpins and bends the road of life presents and push on. Bon voyage. Thank you.